The year 2023 shows us once again that nature can be very unpredictable. Nature has once again shown its strength in many countries. Floods, fires, storms, flash floods and droughts elsewhere. There have been many, but can you imagine that there are natural disasters that completely overshadow all this, and their power is completely beyond human comprehension? Yes, Mother Nature is far from showing us all that she has. Let us see in this video what disasters nature has in store for us in the near future, because the question is not if it will happen, but when will it happen. Friends, welcome to the new video on Top Topics channel. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel and let's get going onto the new video. San Andreas. Can you believe Americans are sitting on a tectonic time bomb? No? Well, believe it. The director of the Southern California Earthquake Center, Thomas Jordan, has made a chilling announcement that has frightened all the residents of this American state. According to him, the San Andreas fault is in critical condition and could cause a major earthquake at any time. The San Andreas fault is a tectonic fault that separates Western California from the continental United States. It is characterized by the movement of two earth plates side by side. This movement causes friction, which in turn causes earthquakes. The San Andreas fault is enormous, measuring about 1,200 kilometers in length and made up of a system of fissures up to 200 kilometers wide. It had already caused enormous damage when the public first became aware of it in the '96 earthquake. Its epicenter was in San Francisco and it claimed at least 3,000 lives. The problem, according to a new report by geologists, is that there has been no major stress relief in the southern part of the fault since 1857. And that means that the stored energy cannot be released. The longer this tension is suppressed, the more energy will be stored in, and the stronger future tremors will be. So scientists know that the next earthquake that occurs in California will be the big one. Models predict that this big one earthquake will be catastrophic. The US Geological Survey model predicts a magnitude of 7.8 with a plate movement of 2 to 7 meters. Such tremors will affect 966 roads, 90 fiber optic cables, 39 gas lines, and 141 electrical lines. Modern buildings will be less affected than the older ones, which are more sensitive to ground shaking. When the earthquake occurs will be crucial. If it is during a dry summer, the problem could be much bigger. Indeed, gas explosions and other damage will lead to large fires, which can spread rapidly due to the drought. How much time does California have left? Decades or just months? Kilauea. Kilauea is an active volcano in Hawaiian Islands. It rises to 1,247 meters above the sea level and is one of the 5 shield volcanoes that together make up the island of Hawaii. Yes, the dream Hawaii that everyone wants to see was created by wild and dangerous volcanoes. In Hawaiian, the word Kilauea means to spit or spew, or to expand a lot. It is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. You wonder, what kind of disaster besides a classic volcanic eruption could happen here? A far greater danger is the island itself, where the volcano is located. Since small volcanic earthquakes are frequent here, the eastern part of Hawaiian Island is gradually sliding into the sea. Scientists warn that sooner or later, the entire eastern part of the island will be torn off and will slide rapidly into the ocean, with catastrophic consequences for the entire Eastern Pacific. This landslide will trigger a huge tsunami that will not only overwhelm the remaining Hawaiian Islands, but will roll at jet speed towards the west coast of the USA, where it will arrive as a wall of water up to 50 meters high, hitting California including Los Angeles and other major cities, causing thousands of deaths and unimaginable damage. But the very same situation threatens east coast of the USA and Europe. For a change, the remote Canary Islands are threatened, specifically by Cumbre Vieja volcano, a large stratovolcano located on Canary Islands of La Palma. What this volcano can do was demonstrated between 19th September and 13th September of 2021, when an effusive eruption took place that was the largest and longest lasting within the island for 500 years. The stratovolcano occupies the entire southern third of the island and is made up of dozens of craters. As with Kilauea, there is a strong suspicion that further volcanic eruption shortly will trigger a massive landslide, and create a huge tsunami that will reach the coast of Africa within 3 hours. The United Kingdom within approximately 5 hours, and the east coast of the USA, including New York City, within approximately 8 hours of the landslide. The waves are expected to be around 30 meters high when they reach the American shores. However, waves up to 50 meters high would hit Africa and Europe. Who would have thought that from the picturesque Canary Islands where thousands of tourists go on holiday, such devastation and destruction could come? There are many seismically active areas in the world, and one of them is the so-called Atlantic Ridge, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where earthquakes are not rare. Yes, most of them are relatively small, but occasionally a very strong earthquake will occur that generates a powerful tsunami that claims many lives and incalculable property damage on the coast. Scientists warn that once every 200 or 250 years, the area will be hit by a particularly strong earthquake of 8 to 9 on the Richter scale, with absolutely devastating effects. The last one on 1st November 1755 had a magnitude of 8.6 and generated a 12-meter tsunami that completely devastated Lisbon and other Portuguese coastlines and claimed an incredible 100,000 lives. The warning is that 268 years have passed since this disaster, so another similar earthquake could happen virtually at any time. Portugal and the other countries bordering this subduction zone are now much more populous countries, and it is therefore to be expected that any loss of life and damage to property would be incalculable. Almost everyone knows that Iceland is an island full of volcanoes. Now and then a volcano erupts and causes problems for the locals, and sometimes it restricts air travel, like the eruption of one of the volcanoes in 2011. But what is less known is that the Atlantic volcanoes have the potential to cause disasters of global proportions and in particular to flood Europe. Well, or rather cool down. In 1783, a series of massive explosions shook the country, triggered by the eruption of Iceland's Selaki volcano on 8th June. The crater subsequently spewed dust and lava for 8 months, and hot magma flooded an area of 600 square kilometers. The disaster in Iceland immediately killed around 10,000 people, which at the time represented 25% of the island's population. But the list of victims was far from over. Virtually all European countries were subsequently hit by an extremely harsh winter and cold summer, which took its toll in the form of crop failures and famines. As many as 6 million people are estimated to have died as a result. Scientists are certain that a similar event is only a matter of time. Iceland's volcanoes are very erratic and have an enormous amount of energy, as the island sits right on top of the mid-Atlantic ridge, and the Eurasian and North American plates meet, which is the reason for the enormous volcanism. If there were a repeat of the 1783 event, the effects on the present-day Europe will be truly tragic. Cold, hunger, collapsed infrastructure, several years of darkness. And yet, such a beautiful island that begs to be visited, doesn't it? So which disaster would you bet your last paycheck on? Remember, it's not a question of if, but when. Friends, that's all for today's video. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any more interesting videos in the future. Don't forget to like, hit that notification bell, and we will look forward to see you in the next video. Bye.